Welcome everyone to our Russian language detective video series. With this series here, we're going to add a few more words in the food group. A number of these already lined up here. This video shouldn't take too long, like everyday life things, but we'll just work on a little bit of the food items this time. So with that in progress, let's go ahead and see what we can find out here. As you can see it at your top left of your screen, we got this black area here. It's a little bit different than it was last week. It seems like it keeps defaulting to this black screen, which looks all right anyway. And it's the letters are still easy to read, even though they're in white. So we'll just go ahead and continue on with that. Now we have some of this information that we had from our last meeting that we had in the previous video. And so we're going to just continue on. The words that we're working on at this time, we're going to work on apple. So we see apple. And then the middle section here is the phonic of how it sounds in Russian, but we're using English syllables to describe it in Russian. So with apple over here, we come up with the English phonic of yablaka. Detective Carl speaking. Thank you, Dilla. I'll take the call in the security booth down the hall. Sorry for the interruption, people. Please stick around. This is an important call that just can't wait. I'll be back in just a moment or two, so please just hang tight. Hello, Natasha. This is Detective Carl. What did you find out?
Yes, Detective Carl. I wanted to make sure that your viewers are aware that they can click on the buttons below your video to like, share, and subscribe to this important channel.
Oh yes, of course. I'm sure they are aware as we speak. I do appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to inform us of this invaluable information. Thank you, Natasha.
Goodbye, Detective.
Food item number 2, apricots. So let me kind of scroll down here a little bit. I think last week we termed this English-Russian parallel dictionary, phrases, and thesaurus. I just kind of simplified it this time round to where it shows as the English/Russian reference guide. So it'll just be easy to mention it going forward from this point on. It'll make it easier for you too, I'm sure. All right, another word for the food group called apricot. And we're going to put this in alphabetical order right below apples. So let me just type that in there. So we have apricot there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go on this RU Translate app right here. And then we have the Russian section over here. With that in mind, what I'll do now is we'll go down to the speakers section here below. We'll just click on that to see what it sounds like in Russian.
Abrikos. Abrikos.
Apricot. What we want to do thereafter is we're going to type in the Russian phonic here. So we're going to type in, there we go, abrikos. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our RU Translate app. We'll switch Russian to the top. And we're going to try to repeat what they're saying. See if it gives us the correct interpretation for that English language. So I'm going to say abrikos, and then we're going to see what it sounds like. And I'm going to do that by clicking on this microphone right here. Abrikos. All right, so as we see, it did recognize the Russian word of abrikos that I spoke in this section here. And we can confirm that because it did come up with the English translation of apricot at the bottom. So great. Now what we want to do at this time is we want to take and go to our Russian online keyboard, and we're going to type in that word so we can add it to our continuing English-Russian reference source material here. We have the letter A and we have the letter B. We got the letter R, which looks like an English letter P, the Russian letter I, and we got the Russian letter K. And we got the Russian letter O and the Russian letter S. All right, so we're going to take that off of there, and we're going to copy and paste it onto our ever-evolving English-Russian parallel dictionary. There, apricot. So we got the second word on there. Of course, the first one was apple, and we did that the previous week, and then we just added apricot here. That this is the English, and then we have the phonics section in the middle and the Russian word actually at the right. So we have that all the way across for apricot. Detective Carl speaking.
Hello, Detective. This is your secretary, Della. I have your Russian informant, Natasha, on the line.
Is that so, Della? Put her on hold. I'll take her call in the security booth down the hall. Sorry, people. Once again, this is one of our delays that come up. I'll try to make it short. Just hang tight if you would. I'll be back shortly, I'm sure. Hello, Natasha. This is Detective Carl. Any new discoveries?
Yes, Detective Carl, I wanted to inform your viewers that below your video, they can click on the Views description bar if this channel is helpful to them and they wish to offer their support. They can also click on the blue donations link.
Oh, yes. I'll be sure to relay this information to them. I do appreciate all your efforts in bringing this to light. What would otherwise be left undiscovered for sure. Keep up the good work, Natasha. I'll look forward to our next conversation sometime soon, I'm sure.
Goodbye, Detective.
Now, another word that we're going to work on as far as the food group is avocado. So let's go ahead and work on that. Let me type in this section here, avocado. And then we're going to go to our RU Translate app. And I'm going to switch the English to the top and the Russian at the bottom. Now I'm going to pronounce avocado, and then I'm going to click on this microphone to see what it comes up in the Russian section as well. Avocado. All right, so we do see that it appears on there in both English and the Russian. So with that in mind, what we'll do is we'll go down to the bottom here, and we're going to click on the speaker to see what this Russian word actually sounds like.
Avocado.
Sounds like they're saying avocado. Let's go ahead and go back to our parallel English-Russian dictionary. So we got avocado. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to go back to the RU Translate app. Let me erase what's in there now. I'm also going to click on this double arrows here to switch the Russian to the top. And now I'm going to speak that avocado by using this microphone here. We're going to try to speak the Russian word avocado and see if it recognizes it. Avocado. We're in luck there. It does show that the Russian word avocado does appear. So with that in mind, what we'll go on and do now is we'll go back to this black section here of our document, the English-Russian reference guide, and we're going to type in, using the Russian keyboard, your bottom left here, just a reminder, this looks like an English B is actually sounds like a V as in Victor in Russian. And then we got the O, the Ka, the A, and the D. It has a strange symbol, but it's like our letter D as in David, and then O. And we'll just copy and paste that onto our document here, avocado. And you'll notice on here that your avocado, you'll see that it has an O at the end, but it has an A sound. And it's because of the vowel reduction for grammar in Russian, and we'll get into that down the road sometime. But for right now, we got about 3 of these food groups on there. We got the apple, apricot, and avocado. We're going to be adding so much more than this. So I do appreciate you visiting with us here today, and I'll look forward to seeing you on our next Russian language detective video series. So long for now.